Hello, I'm James Helder. Welcome to a very special episode of Not For The News. As always, I'm joined by my step-brothers, Curtis Woodhouse and Leon Knight. Great to have you both with us. Woodshack, how you feeling?
All good, brother. All good.
Love that. Nighty, how are you, my man?
All good, bro.
I'm loving the get-ups, Nighty. I hope you've got a sponsorship deal for these get-ups that you're on every week. I'm absolutely
No.
loving it.
I'm looking for one still. So if anybody's out there looking to sponsor, then I'm out here.
Love that energy. Now, lads, as always, I think it's only right that we start with the team that are top of the Premier Division, and that's Arsenal. Massive win over Manchester United. What a game. What a game. Regardless of the performance from Arsenal, it was nice to see two old rivals from the 90s and 2000s going at it with so much at stake. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we saw the passion and the energy from the fans, from the players and everyone involved with those two clubs in that matchup. Let's go straight into the game. Leon Knight, what was your take on it, mate? Give me your thoughts.
I thought it was a brilliant game, to be fair. Like, I actually enjoyed the game. It's rare where you sit down and you watch a game from the first minute to the 90th or to when the game ends, 95th minute or whenever it is. And I sat down, and regardless of what was going on in the house, there's 6 of us in here, I just was watching the TV. And that's rare. Like, you watch a game, you get up, you go make flipping a cup of tea, you ask the miss if she wants one, or like you have a beer or whatever. You be getting, I think, get up. Well, I didn't think I went toilet unless it was halftime. So great game to watch. Great performance by, both clubs, really. I just think, Arsenal are better than Man United at the moment. And that came out in the scoreline, but I thought Man United were good. Better than they've been for the last, few years or whatever. And just a right result for us. The players turned up. We've been wanting this, though, as Arsenal fans. Do you get what I'm saying? Our arch nemesis are flipping Man United, really. Tottenham ain't really no flipping. But, Arsenal and Man U have got a little history. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Martin Keown and Van Nistelrooy and that, and at Old Trafford and all the fighting, and Ian Wright and Peter Schmeichel. And, it was good to have that sort of going into the game, that sort of like, this actually means something again. Do you know what I mean? Us top of the league, Man United flipping on a little roll with a few good performances and results and stuff, and they're climbing up the league, and it was good, man. It was good, and I'm just happy that we got the result. And move on to the next one.
Some great points made there, Nighty. Before we come back on them, I want to get the Woodshack's opinion on the game. What did you make of it, Curtis?
Yeah, I agree with Knight said. It was a brilliant game. Fast and furious, 5 goals. I think I put on my Twitter that for me, that was the game of the season. That's the best game I've watched this season. Like I said, there's something on the line. The big boys came to the party. Rashford again on fire. Saka was brilliant. Odegaard's a joke in midfield. I loved it. I thought it was a proper game, and it's good. It was like the late 90s, early 2000s again, where you get the two big boys going at it. And listen, Man City have done amazing. But Man City are traditionally not a big boy. It's like when Liverpool and Man United are going at it. That's a big game. Arsenal, Man United, they're big games, But Man City, you don't get the same vibe with Man City because they're kind of like a manufactured big club. Obviously, they're a great side, no doubt about it. But they're not a big boy, are they? Man City are not a big boy. But Arsenal, Man United, it had that whole feel of this is a big game. I loved it. It was a great game. I really enjoy watching Arsenal play. I think they're a really, really good side. And Ten Hag has done an unbelievable job with Man United. Unbelievable, because they're back. Man United are back. They lost yesterday, but he would never come out and say it. I think he's come out and said he was a bit frustrated that they've not managed the game better, Ten Hag. But deep down, he'll go home and think, we're nearly there. We're not far away. You stick Harry Kane in that Man United team, they're a problem.
We saw how much it meant to the fans. We see the Arsenal fans before the game in particular. Which is fantastic to see. Such a big game. It's such a poignant moment for Arsenal in the title race. How definitive could that win prove to be in this year's Premier League race, Leon Knight?
Well, every game, not just that game there, every game, but, you know, taking points off the people around you is what wins you titles. Taking points of people who have other fans and other pundits and whoever journalists and whatever and this, that, and I've got, you know, to win the title. That's how you win. That's how you win medals and championships and Premier Leagues and stuff or whatever. So, you know, it was good to take points off them. They've been getting on my nerves lately. You know, we've been on fire all season. We went up to Old Trafford. They beat us 3-1 or whatever it was. And, you know, it's been like a niggle they have been. And it was just really nice to just beat them, like, and get 3 points off them. Not a draw. Even though a draw would have been all right for us. You know what I mean? Man United in a bit of form and stuff and whatever and this, that, and ever. And the draw would have been all right. But, you know, that's at the level that we're at now. We're just saying, nope, we're turning these draws, you know, into wins. We're turning these 1 points into 3 points. And that's a sign of a championship winning side.
You know what? One big thing as well that I've noticed has come back to Arsenal. The atmosphere at the ground sounds like ridiculous. When you watch it on the TV, it's like, whoa. Like, well, Arsenal have not had that for years.
Listen, when
maybe
Saka
since he went to the Emirates, maybe they've never had it.
When Saka scored, yeah, I had my TV on about 47 volume. Yeah, and bro, it started jumping in the house to the point where I started like screaming. Have you ever seen that guy on the TV with the long hair, the Arsenal fan, and he's going, yes, like that? Remember that guy? I don't know what game it's at. I think it might have been at Old Trafford.
I think it's Bully, the fan you're referring to.
Okay. That I was actually doing that and my voice was going and it was getting deeper. And I was thinking, like, flipping hell, calm down, 90, man. You're not even at the game. But because of the whole thing that's gone on, the game was back and forth. Like, it was 1-0 United, 1-0, like 2-1 Arsenal. Like, do you know what I mean? It was just back and forth, quick game. And, you know, you get caught up in it. I got caught first time in a while I've been caught up in the game like that.
You're bang on.
It was nice.
I went and watched the game. I went and watched the game at my dad's. All my family are Arsenal fans. Me, my dad, my brother, my 2 nephews, my 2 sons, my mum, and my cousin. When we're all getting together like that to watch games, like, it's not like Arsenal are just playing on the telly. We're strategically getting together as a tribe to watch Arsenal. Yeah. And it's a beautiful thing. We've waited 19 years to enjoy these moments, and it's an absolutely beautiful thing. Woodchuck's bang on about the crowd. When Saka scored that goal, and he ran up and mimicked Rashford's celebration.
Yeah. I'm here for it.
Let's just get an image of that. I'm here for all the passion and the power coming through. We're jumping up in the front room going, Arsenal, Arsenal. All the Helders in unison. I mean, it's a beautiful time to be an Arsenal fan. It's an absolute glorious time to be an Arsenal fan.
The disrespect from Saka, I'm all about it.
I said this already. I said it on my Twitter. I said, I'm here for that. That is my kind of shithousery.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. That brings a bit of spice. I've always said, that we need to bring into football what the American football players have got. Like, a bit of shithousery, a bit like NBA, like, man, we'll talk to you. Okay, no problem. Like, I've seen it kind of creeping in with penalties where the keeper comes out, he talks and this, that, and the other. But people start getting upset, bro. This is competition.
But you know what that said to me when Saka did that? That said to me, you're in our house.
Don't play games. Wipe your take your shoes off at the door.
Yeah, we're a big team. You're in our house. Simple. That has not been happening for a long time at Arsenal. But it was kind of like shoes. Yeah, it was like, yo, we're for real. Don't come here with that nonsense.
Yeah, 100%. Don't disrespect the Emirates, bro. Take your shoes off at the door. Hang your jacket up and close the fucking door, bro. Simple. But you're trying to come here and do this. You're mad. You're crazy, bro.
You know what?
Do you know how happy Saka made me feel when he started doing that?
Yeah. For me, that's
because
the
when
best game
Rashford
I've...
scored, when Rashford scored and did that, I was thinking to myself, this guy's listen, don't come here and do that. It's like when Lingard started doing flipping Michael Jackson. That hurt. All to this day, that hurts, bro.
Yeah,
That's
the best I've seen Saka play. Saka the other day was like he looked, don't want to say it, but he looked world class. Yeah, Saka looked like a threat, a real threat. I like he's
he's not cool.
You know what it is with me. Do you know what it is with me? I think I need to cool down with judging the younger player so quickly, and I'm putting him up against elites. Listen, I ain't one to say that I'm wrong. It's brilliant, I thought that it was too much backwards and not enough like going at your man and tearing him apart and getting shots off and this, that, and all of that they're doing now.
Maybe they listened.
You know what,
maybe they heard what you had to say, Nighty, and they've changed a little bit because listen, they're on fire and they're doing bits at the moment. Let's have it right.
But listen, I agree with Nighty, and I'm exactly the same. Like, to show me you're a very good player, you have to go and play very good. I'm not just one of them that says like, oh, he's had a good 20 minutes. He's a really good player.
That's what I'm saying.
Come and prove it. And Saka has proved it. So then he elevates himself. I thought Saka was a good player. But I said he's not more than a good player until he actually goes and proves it. Saka's gone bomb. He's gone next level now. And mate, defenders are now scared of Saka. I mean, Luke Shaw was in the top end of the Arsenal King. He was playing so deep. He didn't want to go anywhere near him. He was backing off.
Well, you know yourself, Curtis. You play in your club side. You go away internationally. You play with obviously the other club side. So he knows.
Yeah, he knows
what Saka can do. He's been in training. He's just come off the back of the World Cup. He knows. They would have done 1v1s in training. They would have done all of this, little mini games and six-a-sides and whatever. They would have done all of this. So he knows it ain't just like now. Saka's been putting in back-to-back performances off the back of the World Cup.
Yeah, 100%. Luke Shaw said to Rashford before the game,
I'm in danger.
Listen, I might need your help today.
Simple.
100%.
Yep.
Lads, I want to talk a little bit about why Gary Neville is on comms duty for Arsenal Manchester United. I find it a little bit unfair to have a club legend, icon, hero of Manchester United on comms duty for the game. I'm all for their opinion in the studio afterwards. Like they had Fabregas and Roy Keane in the studio afterwards. Roy Keane with the greatest moustache I've ever seen in the studio afterwards. I'm all for that energy, okay? But if we're going to have Gary Neville on comms, why don't we have Ian Wright on comms as well? Like, why is Gary Neville chosen to commentate on a game where he's got so much personal bias on that club?
That's not fair!
I found that a little bit distasteful.
You know what? I don't think he comes across that bias. He's really well. But
I agree with Nighty. I never get the impression that Gary Neville's biased. We all know he's from forever. I agree with Nighty, and I think that's credit to Gary Neville. I think Gary Neville's the best at his job. Him and Carragher are class. I think they're
next
both
level, mate.
They're both taking it to the next level.
But can you not
next level, mate? And I think you're saying Ian Wright and stuff like that and whatever. I think there's a difference in being in the studio to actual commentating on the game. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference. I don't know what the difference is.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
But Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville can do both.
I'm in no way disputing what you boys are saying. That's what we're here for.
You can't get Fabregas to commentate on the game.
We're here to disagree on things. I appreciate what you're saying, but for me, it wasn't the way I would personally like to see things done. I want completely neutrality on the game, and I'm not disrespecting Gary Neville in any way.
No.
He left a bad taste of me. Not being honest.
But I think once you go down that route, you're saying, well, can Gary Neville then do Man City? Can he do Leeds? Can he do Liverpool?
Yeah, it's stupidness. That just don't make no sense.
Yeah, all rivals are Man United.
No, I appreciate what you're saying.
Then can Jermaine Genius do Tottenham? Can he do Nottingham Forest? Can he do Newcastle? Like, it's just dumb. Like, it ends up being stupid in the end.
Yeah, I never get the impression that Neville is biased. We all, even though we all know he's Man United, I never get that vibe that
when he came back into the studio and was talking, he sat next to Roy Keane, and he said, "You know, I thought United were really, really good, but Arsenal are a better side." Now, if that ain't neutral, beyond neutrals, I don't know what is.
But
and the man beside him, Roy Keane, just nodded his head. It's like putting Roy Keane in to do commentary. It ain't gonna happen.
I appreciate
it ain't that. I don't know what it is, or because obviously they train for these things. You get prepped, you do this and whatever. You go to like camps and learn how to talk and come. I don't know what it is, but some people can do the studio. Some people can do the commentary, and some people can do studio and commentary. So, do you get what I'm saying?
All right. Well, I'm going to wind my neck in a little bit on that one. But that's why we're here, is to disagree. If you boys agreed with everything I said, it wouldn't be an entertaining show. Let's come away from Arsenal. Credit for the performance. Credit to Manchester United as well for the performance. You know where I'm going now. I'm going straight to Brookside. I'm going straight to Everton Football Club with the dismissal of 90s friend Frank Lampard. Which, again, I think the writing's on the wall. If we can get that clip of Lampard looking absolutely petrified, talking to the Everton fans up.
You know, you love your lads. That's why all the boys are here to say, look,
thank you.
We're all behind the team. I know we're under a bit of pressure, but we're 100% behind you. We're all here today as well, you know what I mean? We want to say some of the boys, like, no Anthony and all that, come for a bit of grief last week. It's not on them, you know what I mean? We're all behind you, so we're going to get the lads today, yeah?
Come on, Frank, lads. Come on, Frank.
I think he'd already had the news, you know, lads. Talking to them fans, he looked like he'd bumped into someone he owes 30 grand to. He didn't look in a place of confidence. What's your take on Frank Lampard being dismissed, Curtis Woodhouse?
Well, no, not surprised at all. I think I said a couple of weeks ago on the show that I'd be very surprised if he made February. Very surprised, because you just can't keep losing when you're Everton Football Club. It's not as if they've come up and they're new to the league and they're finding it difficult. It's Everton, you know, and they've been on a terrible run. I said before we came on air, I feel sorry for Frank. I really do. He just seems like one of life's good guys. You know, he's had a great career. The Everton job, when you look at it in hindsight, is it actually a good job for someone so inexperienced? They've got no money. The team's not very good. The club's completely split. The chairman don't get on with the vice chairman. The fans hate the whole football club. And then you've got a guy that comes in with no experience really in management. So that was probably his mistake, was actually taking the job. I feel for him. It's never nice. And you may be right, James. You know, when you actually look now in hindsight to see how he was reacting to the fans, he looked really upset and he looked like he was on the brink of crying. And that's horrible to see, you know, a football icon who, you know, I don't hear anybody saying anything bad about Frank. You know, he kind of just seems like I said, one of life's really nice guys. And it looks like football at that moment had broken him. And he might have had the news 5 minutes before, you don't know. Probably did, now you look at it.
There's rumours going about that he was told by WhatsApp as well. I can't confirm that, but rumours and speculation is you know, our game a little bit. Nighty, what's your take on Frank Lampard being dismissed as Everton Football Club manager?
Well, with the result, it's a results business we're in, isn't it? So, do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you're lingering around the bottom of the league and not picking up points and climbing the table, you're going to be in a line of fire. Like you said, the video of it made me feel uncomfortable a little bit. Like, do you know what I mean? Just like, it didn't sit right with me. Like Curtis is saying, he is a good guy. But, you know, football ain't got it don't sit well for nobody, mate. If whether you're good, you're bad, you could be an absolute CUNT, like, and win the league. Like, nobody, you know what I mean? You've got to just get results. That's just the bottom line of everything. Forget everything else. You can, like I said, you can be an absolute prick and win the league. It's a results business. I feel sorry for him, but I feel like players like Lampard should go to like a big club in the Championship. See what it's all about. Like, try and, work and, gather experience. Who's the big clubs like? Who's the big name club in the Championship? Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday. They've got big history, get hold of one of them.
Oh, no,
one of them to the...
Sheffield Wednesday not in the Championship, mate.
What he said.
League One fodder.
To be fair to Frank
Lampard,
Lampard,
we're talking about big clubs in even League One. Go League One.
To be fair to Frank Lampard, he did have a spell at Derby, but coming back to what Nighty said, I don't think it was long enough. We're expecting expecting ballers that were absolutely elite on the field to be elite straight away. It's not going to work, is it? Look at Lampard, look at Gerrard. Give me your thoughts on that. Carry on, Leon.
That don't happen, mate. It don't happen. Do you know what I mean? Usually the greatest players make shittest managers.
Big point.
Just the way it goes.
Big point.
Yeah, it's just the way it goes. But like I was saying, going back to these players, all right, Gerrard was at Rangers, massive club. Okay, I hear you. But the Scottish and English thing's completely different. Yeah? So I don't even really think, as experience of handling and being manager of a big club, yes, okay, no problem. But when it comes down to game sides and training and players, their performances, the level that they can actually play at, yeah, it comes a different scenario. Now you go to Villa, again, big club.
Yeah. We're talking about two really inexperienced managers, aren't we? Taking over huge football clubs.
Massive.
In no other industry would that happen.
You're not do you reckon you're coming out, just say a job, and then you're landing in at Chelsea? Chelsea.
Yeah, it's not happening.
If
you actually look at Frank Lampard, he went to Derby. Financially, they were in a mess. He went to Chelsea. They had the embargo on, and then he's gone to Everton, who are also in a mess. So the three jobs he's had have been difficult jobs for him. So in the long run, them experiences will probably help him. Yeah. But he needs to go down and rebuild if this is what he wants to do. He might look at it and think, you know what, this ain't for me. But if he wants to come back, his name will always carry weight. He will always get a decent job. He's not going to turn up at, I don't want to say a club and disrespect him. He's not going to turn up at Southend, is he? So he'll, like say, you look at League One, there's some massive clubs in League One. It's not until you actually look at the league table, you're like, oh, wow, didn't realise they were in there. Some big clubs in League One. I do think he needs to go away and rebuild. The same for Gerrard. I thought Gerrard was really unlucky when he went, he did a brilliant job at Rangers. Then he went to Villa, didn't quite work out. I always thought it was unlucky, but then when Gerrard leaves, you actually see what Unai Emery's come in and done. It makes you think, well, that's what an experienced manager's come in and done with exactly the same players. All of a sudden, Villa have gone bang, bang. You watch Villa play now, and it's like, holy shit. It kind of shows. It shows up. I don't want to say poor job, but it shows up the job that Gerrard did when someone else comes in and completely makes them play so much better.
Should these elite players, look to work on under 18, under 21 level, like John Terry is doing, earning his stripes, earning the respect, learning from these top tier coaches as not a player, but as a member of the coaching staff, to have an apprenticeship. So when you get these big jobs or these middle road jobs, you're equipped to handle them better, looking at it as a manager and coaching staff point of view, rather than as a player straight into the big jobs. Nighty, what's your take?
Yeah, definitely. You've got to get, nowadays, under 18s, under 20s, or whatever it is you're doing, all the facilities are there. It's the same structure as basically the first team, really. So everything's in line to learning and gathering experience. But these are young guys. Yeah? These are young guys who've just come out of two and a half decades of flipping playing professional elite at the highest level. Yeah, I really do think that them sort of players there should just start off low. Start off low because they're actually killing, regardless of what you want to say, they're killing their careers managerially. Going club by club. Now, Frank's had 3 clubs, none of them's been successful. Yeah, where are you going next?
It's interesting, isn't it? Where does he go from here? Do you think football management something is not for everyone? Do you think Lampard deserves to take a break before his next career move, or do you see him jumping straight back into the fire? Curtis Woodhouse, what's your take?
I think he definitely needs a break. He's like I just said a minute ago, he's had 3 difficult jobs. You know, he went to Derby, who were in a bit of financial mess behind the scenes. He then goes to Chelsea. Chelsea are his club. He's a legend there. He gets a sack. Now that must have hurt. That must have cut deep. That him getting the sack at Chelsea. That will have hurt. And we seen the video of him emerge last week at Everton, where the guy he's in tears. He looks a broken man. So football at the minute is causing him a lot of alarm and distress. Frank needs a couple of weeks in the Caribbean with a few pina coladas and just relax. And like you said, his name will always carry weight. I'd like to see him turn up at somewhere like Portsmouth, you know, somewhere with a long-term vision, a big club, a bit of a sleeping giant. I would say like a Sheffield United, a Sheffield Wednesday. You know, at the minute, them two have both got very good managers that are doing great jobs. A Sunderland, you know, somewhere like this where they are a big club, they have the potential, and there's a 3, 4, 5 year plan to bring them through, rather than being chucked in a Chelsea and an Everton and with Gerrard and Aston Villa who've now got money and they want to be in that top 6, top 4. They're not ready for them jobs yet. They have got no experience of management to be ready for them roles. So I think both of them need to choose their next job very, very wisely, because their names will always carry weight. But at some point, chairman will be like, what can we do here? They just keep messing it up. The next job for both of them is huge, especially Frank. Frank's next job, it don't work out. What does he do?
Finished.
Where does he go?
Yeah, he's finished.
He's done, yeah. So, you know, they've got to pick their jobs wisely, their next moves. But I want to see them both do really well. They're both icons of English football. I want them to be the next England managers. You know, I want them to bring, you know, inspire the next batch of young players coming through. But at the minute, it's not looking like they're going to be good enough for the job. And you're right, it's not for everybody.
It's not. And who advised? I know he's competitive and he likes to challenge and that, but who told him to go to Everton? Who lined that up? Like, obviously, you must, as an agent or manager or whoever, if you're handling a player, like, surely you look deep into the club and see that the club is not structured right for you to go in and start managing as a young manager, as being inexperienced. Like, you can't. I know he likes a challenge, and he probably felt like he could do a job and blah blah blah. But you've got no money to spend. The players that you've got ain't good enough. Yeah, you've got about a couple of million to spend, and then you're looking at the flipping under 21s and younger players coming through and stuff. It was just pointless even being there. Just like took another dent into his reputation and his managerial reputation and stuff. Like, it's just flipping. That just annoyed me. That I'd have never went there.
I agree.
An East Londoner up in flipping. Do you know what I mean? Like, and he's an East London. It's not like he's flipping. Yeah, like he's played all over the place. He's went from East London West Ham to West London Chelsea, but it's still the same. Like, you've been there your whole life. And then you come away, and it's a different kettle of fish up here.
I hear you.
Yeah. And also, as well, you look at the 2 teams that he's been at before, and Frank's whole life has been built around passing teams, pass through the thirds. He's always had quality players around him. When he went to Derby, they had one of the best teams in the league. They had quality players. They passed through the thirds. They went to Chelsea. Obviously, they had a transfer embargo, but Chelsea had some good players.
They're still players, yeah.
Yeah, they weren't booming it back to front. They were passing it through the thirds, trying to play as what people call the right way. He then goes to Everton. All of a sudden, he's got centre halves that are not great on the ball, passing it into midfielders that are horrendous on the ball.
Yeah.
So he's trying to build through the thirds with players that are not good enough to do. And Frank doesn't know any other way of playing. That's not his fault. He's always been brought up as elite. So for me, he was totally unequipped to do the job. He went to war with a water pistol.
That's what I'm trying to say. Who told him, come sign this contract here?
He went to war with a water pistol. That's the best analogy I've heard all week, Curtis Woodhouse. Let's get him a round of applause for that one.
He did, but you know what as well though, like what makes Frank Lampard great and Steven Gerrard great. Frank's at West Ham as a young player. The fans are hammering him, saying he's not good enough. He's only there because of his uncle. That I'm going to show you has made Frank Lampard great.
Can we get the Scotty Cannon clip up?
If he thinks like the publicity he's give young Frank there warrants it, because personally I don't think he's quite good enough yet. And I also think that in the last couple of years you let some good midfielders go for peanuts like Matt Holland and Scott Cannon.
Well, no, they definitely wasn't good enough. He is good enough, and he definitely will be good enough. I let Scott Cannon go. He was a good kid and worked very hard. He's gone to Brentford. He can't get in Brentford's team. He's 21 years of age. I let him go because young Frank's 17, 18 and is miles in front of him.
Well, that ain't really true.
That is true. That's my opinion, and that's what I get paid to. I get paid to make judgments on players. He's not. No, if you look very carefully, I don't think he's been in too regular. Well, it's your opinion. Again, it's a game of opinions. And you've got a right to your opinion, but I've also got a right to my opinion. And my opinion, obviously, I keep the players I want to keep. I tell you now, you can sit in front of all these people. I tell you, without any shadow of a doubt, there will be no comparison with what Frank Lampard will achieve in football and what Scotty Cannon will achieve in football.
So things like that have made Frank great, that resilience that I'm going to show you. So when he goes to somewhere like Everton, he probably did have people around him saying, Frank, even like his uncle, Harry Redknapp, would have maybe gone, Frank, be careful on this one. But what makes him great and what made him a great player is that I've got this. I'll fucking turn this around. You just watch.
Yeah.
So it's hard. That's his personality. That's what's made him great. So it's hard to take that off him.
Now let's look at the managers potentially coming into Everton Football Club. Sean Dyche 2-1, favourite to be the manager. Marcelo Bielsa and Bielsa Ball 11-4. Big Dunk and Ferguson 3-1. Wayne Rooney, the return of the legend 9-2. David Moyes 12-1. My absolute favourite and stepdad Sam Allardyce 25-1.
What the fuck?
Carlo Ancelotti, my dad's ringer, 33-1. Mr. John Terry, 40-1. Dare I say it, Steven Gerrard, 50-1. Now,
I love Sam Allardyce just for the scenes.
I love him. Just for the banter.
The fans would lose their shit.
Hey, can you imagine if they announced Big Sam and he returns?
Mate.
Oh, mate. Honestly, they'll be blockading the whole city. The board would have to move countries. I'm telling you, it would be over. It would be over for them. Now, I've got my opinion on it. I personally, I would go Duncan Ferguson, interim manager. Give them a kick up the arse. They need discipline. They need 4-4-2. They need someone that cares about the club. I think if you get someone like Bielsa in for how talented he is, they haven't got the players to play Bielsa ball. They're going to be in a bad way. They need discipline. They need interim. They need structure. They need to kick up the you-know-what. Woodhouse, what do you do if you're on the Everton board this morning? What's your decision, initial reaction to that?
Well, I disagree with the interim bit. I think what Everton, the players and the team need is clarity. So an interim manager is like getting one of them.
He's not doing anything,
Yeah, school teacher just coming in to take one lesson the class runs riot. So they need to appoint someone long term. I like the Big Dunk one.
Have you seen the interim manager that's coming in though? I don't think you're going to run right with him, Woodhouse.
Very true.
He kept
But
burglars as pets, okay? He kept burglars as pets.
Yeah, I think the big dunk want to be a good one. Because again, you know, he's been behind the scenes for a while. He's done his apprenticeship. Listen, Everton look like they're going down, potentially going down. So they need someone who can maybe bring them back as well. I like Big Dunk. I'd be happy to see him in the role. I'd like to see him given an opportunity. An absolute disaster would be Bielsa. A disaster.
Agreed.
That, you know, Everton are down if they appoint a Bielsa. But yeah, I like the Big Dunk. I'd like to see Big Dunk get a chance. Don't think it's right for Rooney. It's not the right job for him. Who was the other guy on there that was quite short? Sean Dyche again. You know, I think he'd be a great appointment. Dyche or Big Dunk for me.
Big Dunk. Now, let's just get the clip up of the Everton fan saying that the number 9 wears knickers and bras.
He's a 20-year-old fucking kid, and you just give him hell. You expect him to fucking, jump through hoops and shit through miracles and all that, keeper.
He dyes his hair blonde as if he's fucking...
Listen, before you start, shut up a minute, Billy. You're going on about Anthony Gordon. Our fucking number 9 wears knickers and bras. So dyeing his hair, right? He can dye his hair for all he cares. I don't give a shit about that. Our number 9 wears knickers and fucking bras, right? Now let me tell you this. Dixie Dean didn't do it. Bob Latchford didn't do it. Andy Gray didn't do it. Graham Sharp didn't do it. Duncan Ferguson didn't do it. Lad, why is he doing it, the fucking swat?
Can you imagine Big Dunk's face when he walks into the changing room and you're putting on a sports bra and putting moulds on? Not going to be happy, is he? Let's be brutally honest. He ain't going to be happy. Leon Knight, what's your take?
I just think just forget all the stupidness. You know, get a person in there that has got experience with what's going to be going on in the second half of the season. Get Big Sean Dyche in there. Even if you end up going down, you know that when you go down to the Championship, he's going to be equipped. He knows the Championship very well. He's going to be trying to get you back up. So the same thing I'm talking about with Frank Lampard is the same thing I'm talking about with Big Dunk. He ain't really been the manager. He's been in and around, yeah, I hear you, and this, that, and the other. But, you know, as a day-to-day being a manager and then a sat there and the pressures and all this, and you ain't done it before and you're in a relegation battle and you're fighting relegation and, do you know what I mean? It's just, I think it will just be overwhelming for him. Bringing in Rooney don't make no sense. That's just a stupidness. He's done nothing either. Managerial. Yeah, he's done nothing either. Yeah, these players, he's like Lampard and Gerrard and all of them. They'll always be around and tagged with clubs because of their name and what they've done for English football and stuff. But if you want to survive in the Premier League and play Premier League and have the status next season, you go and get Sean Dyche and you just absolutely do what he says. Yeah, give him anything he needs. Yeah, and hope for the best, mate. But he will be the most equipped to get you out of that relegation zone.
I agree.
Could you imagine if they appointed Steven Gerrard at 50-1 with the bookies? How would the Evertonian fans handle that?
Gerrard wouldn't do that job anyway. I didn't think
he would.
No.
I think if they bring Sean Dyche in, they have a chance of surviving. And anyone outside of Sean Dyche, even Duncan Ferguson, tonight, he's right. He's not got any experience of being under the pressure. Anyone other than Sean Dyche on that list, they're down. Sean Dyche gives them a chance of survival. I think it's a great partnership that I agree with 90. And they might have to take a step back before they take a few steps forward. But Dyche will understand Everton's DNA. And he'll be able 100%. To make a better version of Burnley.
100%. Yeah, because, with Everton, yeah.
Great comment, Curtis Woodhouse. Great comment. Lads, we saw Tottenham Hotspur's 1-0 win over Fulham. Harry Kane equaling the record set by Jimmy Greaves, 266 goals. Tottenham have known he's been close to that milestone for a long time. And then they put up the world's worst graphic on their Twitter. Okay? Pitch football, we're making better graphics than what Tottenham Hotspur put out to celebrate Kane's goal. You knew it was coming, Tottenham. Why on earth have you put that graphic up? I don't know. Let's give our thoughts on Harry Kane reaching a record milestone at Tottenham Hotspurs. I'm going to go straight to Curtis Woodhouse on that.
He's a killer, isn't he? His goal last night was brilliant. Touch inside, whack. Didn't even look at the goal. The goals don't move. Great finish. For me, I think I've said it repeatedly on here. the best number 9 in the world for me. If you want a centre forward and he needs to score to save your life, I'm probably going Harry Kane every day of the week. For me, he's a killer. He's a great player, and if he signs a new deal at Tottenham Hotspur, I'm never going to mention his name ever again. He needs to leave that football club ASAP because they are nowhere near good enough or fit enough to have him as their number 9. He needs to break the records. He needs to go and leave, and he needs some trophies behind him. For him, if he don't win any trophies, I won't look at him any differently. But for him, I want him to retire with a Premier League and a couple of trophies, and Tottenham are killing him. He needs to go ASAP, get away from them, and Levy and all that nonsense. Because what they're going to be telling him when they're trying to get him to sign a new contract is the same rubbish they were telling him 3 years ago. He needs to leave. He's better than Tottenham Hotspur. I want him out of there. I want him at Man United, and I want to see the revival of Man United and Harry Kane being the man to bring him back. I'm a big fan of Kane. I think he's brilliant, especially when he's on form. I mean, how many goals has he got? Everyone's going about Haaland. He's got 18 anti-Kane, something daft.
Yeah. He's not.
But the thing about it's all right being informed. These goals mean nothing. Nothing. I'm a massive fan of Harry Kane. I'm an Arsenal fan, but I like watching strikers, and I like seeing. And he's probably the closest thing to flipping Alan Shearer that we've got. And he's probably going to break Shearer's record. Yeah. But the only thing that's separating him and all these other great goal scorers is these other great goal scorers have got trophies behind them. They just got golden boots.
Don't you admire his loyalty a little bit, though, lads? In an era, no one has got any loyalty for anything.
No, it doesn't matter. No, that's stupidness. That's stupidness.
Explain to me why.
Listen, they had no loyalty to Harry Kane when they're chucking him out on loan every 2 minutes because they weren't really having him.
It would show me, if he signs a new contract at Spurs, that he's mentally just not all there. That's what it will show me. Because you can see, you're not stupid. Your love for the club can't be blinding you that much that you're not. You sign a 5-year contract. In that 5 years, you're not winning nothing.
Do you think he'll sign a new deal, 90? Do you think he will?
I can't see him not signing it.
Really?
But this is what I'm trying to say, because look now.
Sign for them again.
Look what I'm trying to say now. Who's really talking about Kane and saying they want Kane? He's pushing on in age. Was he 29? 28?
29.
Yeah, but you look at him, he don't rely on pace. If his legs go, he can still do what he does now.
I know what you're saying, but how can I put this? People are kind of just overlooking him because it's the Spurs thing. He might not want to go. Spurs are going to be asking too much money. This, that, and the other. The thing that happened with Man City, the season where he was meant to go, or everyone was talking about him going, like, is it really worth all the hassle? That's what people are saying, because people are going out and buying other strikers.
Well, the thing is when Man City came in for him, I think he had 3 or 4 years left on his deal. He's now down to the last 18 months. At the end of this season, I have 1 year left on his contract. That's why I think it's a big difference. If he doesn't sign the deal, Tottenham will have to sell him, or they can lose him in January to a foreign club on a free. For me, if I'm Man United, he's my number 1 priority. I'm making it happen in the summer.
Yeah, I hear you.
You're definitely getting over Wout Weghorst. Let's be brutally honest. He'll be an improvement on what Manchester United got at the moment. It's just whether it can be reached with Levy. You know what he's like to deal with.
Man United become a good side who's competing for top 4. They buy Kane, they become an absolute menace.
100%.
To actually pushing for the actual title. They signed Kane, and that is a problem.
Big point.
For the whole league.
Big point, 90.
They have Harry Kane against you boys at the weekend. They probably win that game.
They're easy.
Let's not get too carried away.
No, they do. They do.
But look, last night, tight game. Nothing really in the Fulham Tottenham game. One bang, goal, 1-0.
That goal looked very similar to Saka's and Rashford's as well. Like he's watched that and thought, do you know what? I can do that. I do. I do what them boys do.
He's a great goal scorer, mate. He can score any goals, left foot, right foot, head, anything. It's very rare you find strikers like that.
Well,
That's of an old school era.
I think Man United is so suited to him because Man United, one thing they have all over the pitch in forward areas is legs. They can run, you know, and Kane dropping in that little 10 roll, Rashford running on in behind. I think Kane is made for Man United. If he goes Man United, Shearer's record's getting smashed to smithereens.
While we're on the subject of great goal scorers, it's January. Erling Haaland has scored 25 goals in the Premier League. He's beat last season's Golden Boot already, and he's still probably got 18 matches to go. Remarkable. Which one of you two boys? Which one of you two boys disrespected Haaland at the start of the season and didn't have the belief in him? Who's going to own up and take some Jacobs?
Me. I did. But I'm hearing through the grapevine that the players ain't happy.
I told you boys this last week, and you looked at me like I was talking French.
I heard from a good source that they are not happy, the players.
When I pointed this out that they weren't playing him, you boys told me that wouldn't happen in elite football.
I went to after I spoke to you about that a couple of days later. I think it was. I spoke to this person. I ain't gonna say his name, but I heard they're not happy that their whole style of play now has been changed.
Thank you.
And players can't play the way they're playing. This is what I'm hearing. Players can't play the way they're playing.
I don't like to point out when I'm right too often, even though no one told me. I saw it with my own eyeballs and told you boys on the show.
Right. And he's getting all the accolades. So players are pissed off. And I even said, who's going to be pissed off because you're flipping winning and somebody else is just like scoring the goals? Like, that's his job. Like, do you know what I mean? But they'd say, nah, mate, people are pissed off.
Knew it. I can tell body language. I'm a body language expert. I can read the room really well. And
to be fair, they're not winning, are they? They're not winning.
And they're not on no sort of form at all. No one's really scared of Man City, really, too tough anymore. Do you know what I mean? They're not really scared. People will say, fucking, if you ask any other club who don't you want to play right now, they'll tell you Arsenal.
Lad, he's scored more hat-tricks already in his first season than Cristiano Ronaldo managed in his whole time in the Premier League.
I've seen that stat the other day.
Put some respect on his name, regardless whether they like him, they don't want his style of football at the club.
But the styles of football, the styles of football that is playing now is different. He couldn't do that in Ronaldo's era. That would have been they had Vidic, Solomon Campbell. They had players who was big to handle his ass. They got these little boys at the back now, Martinez and all them man that's from United. I'm not saying they're not no good, but them man, they get bullied. They'll get bullied from the bigger boys.
I've never heard someone pronounce Sol Campbell's name like that. His full title. That's why I love Nighty and I love his energy.
Solomon
Campbell.
They had Martin Keown, Rio. They had the big man them at the back to flip in. Do you know what I mean? If you want to fight, we'll fight. You know, we've got the little pace as well. Do you know what I mean? They had all that. Like, so to say,
Haaland isn't ragging them guys around like he rags these guys around. No way.
Yeah, but I love me.
You can only play who's in front of him, though, boys. Okay,
no, I hear
you can't
you.
go in a time machine and go against Roberto Carlos or against Maldini.
But you're saying it's kind of taking shine off Cristiano Ronaldo's time, yeah, because he was doing it against elite man.
I get that, bro. But men lie.
So
stats do not lie. His stats said he's ahead of Ronaldo.
Stats don't lie. Stats don't lie. But who you're playing against tells us a lot.
Yeah, I completely hear that.
You know what? Like both my boys are Man United fans, so my littlest had YouTube on the other day, and it was like Ronaldo's Man United highlights. You forget how mad this guy was at Man United. It was madness. When I was watching, I was like, "Oh my god!" I forgot he was that good. And you know what? Well, another thing I noticed when I was watching them clips, some of them pitches are terrible that he was playing on.
Horrid, mate.
Yeah, man.
The tackles were still at a point, especially early on in his career, where he was getting smashed. He was getting put in the stands.
Yeah, man were lifting him up. If you tackled like that today, what they was doing in like early 2000s, when I mean early, I mean 2003, 2004, and whatever. If you was tackling like that now, that they was back then, you wouldn't even see a game. You'd be suspended every minute.
Yeah, Ronaldo was different. You forget, don't you? You forget
Curtis,
how good he was.
Curtis, can you tell me now how sad it is to see how he is now to what he was back then? Bruv, he was leaving players. When I mean leaving like they wasn't even running.
Father Time catches us all, though, lads, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
On the back,
and it's sad because
looking like an elite Mayweather. Now he's looking more like Roger Mayweather on the back.
He still tries. Who?
What else?
No. I thought you was talking about me there. I was gonna say.
Nah, I ain't got no problem with you. I know you're a black belt at karate. I ain't got no issue with that, bro.
That don't mean nothing.
I did 4 threes on the bag yesterday. Oh man, I was blowing out my hoop.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, lads. Father Time's going to come for us all at some point. We're not going to be as agile and as fast as we was early in our lives, later in our lives. Unless you're into
like I said, listen,
deep yoga.
I had a big shock, mate, because obviously I ain't really been active. I've come out of the whole football and whatever and this and the other. And, you know, certain things that you try to do in just day-to-day life is just what you would just breeze through when you was like 19, 20. It's just mental.
I've never been as fit as you two. I tore a tendon in my arm by sneezing. My osteopath says it's going to be a year. I bloody sneezed. Come on, man.
Bro, I woke up the other day. I fell asleep on the sofa. I woke up the other day. I went to get up and my hammy went like that. I thought, oh my God. Like, and I've never had an injury playing. Never.
You're durable, man. They bounce off in the night. Do you mean?
Kicks and all of that, yeah, no problem. But you know, like a hamstring pull or a calf pull, or you done your hip or your back. I've never had that. I've never missed a game through injury. Like to say you're injured. No. And bruv, I'm telling you now, I've had more injuries going up and down the stairs and pushing open a door and getting up off the sofa than I ever did. Crazy.
Father Time comes for us all, lads. It really does. Now, last week, we spoke quite in depth about footballers, their partners. The statistic of footballers that suffer divorce after retiring from the game is absolutely crazy. I've got a short clip of Greg Halford absolutely going mental, allegedly throwing his wife's stuff out of the window. Let's have a quick pat butchers at that. Okay, now, whether we agree with what Greg did or didn't do...
I agree.
It is what it is. I want to get your thoughts initially on it. Leon Knight, what's your take?
Well, I said already, you should have just kept the stuff, changed the locks, made a little eBay, and just sold the stuff and got a little recoup on what he spent on her. But I'm here for the shit ass route, completely. Because when it's the man that cheats, you know, we're dragged out on all sorts of social media platforms.
100%.
We're dragged. We're all over the gaff.
Suits are getting cut up. Hugo Boss suits are getting cut up. The lot.
Everything. Gucci suits cut up. Everything's getting cut. Yeah, every damn thing. Nothing ain't without getting cut. Yeah. So when this happens and the girl starts cheating, like, I mean, you look like you got a nice little home there. Obviously, he's still doing stuff. You look at what stuff was thrown outside. I know all them bags. There was Gucci bags, Yeezy shoes, Louis Vuitton shoes. There was every damn thing out there. That don't come cheap.
Was that your push they threw out 90? That little one?
No, you're trying to run jokes, and I'm not really on the jokes still. I ain't really on the jokes. I see a man say, did he turn up on his pushback? And I'm like, this ain't even a time to be joking, bro, because this is a serious case. Everyone laughs and jokes when it's the man who's getting cheated on. There's always some sort of excuse or some sort of flipping, you know, banter that people are saying. And when it's the woman, it's I feel sorry for her and blah, blah, blah. This and I feel sorry for the man.
Fair point. No, I hear that, Nye. I'm sorry for making light of it. You know, it's just my human nature to try and be a bit bantersaurus.
I feel sorry for him because, look, he's probably looked after her for her whole life.
Big point. Big lyrics.
A whole life he's looked after. Now, forget her. He's got to go and start his life again.
It's true, isn't it? No one.
The kids.
About the
That's
mental
the kids.
anguish. He's going.
Come on, bro. That's the kids broken, separated. That's the whole family done. That's what people don't understand. When you're cheating and you're doing all of this and whatever, and you've got a family there that's behind you. When you're single and whatever, and this and that, even if you live with your partner and you're single, okay, it's a bit of a thing. House might have to get sold and you might have to go separate ways. Cool, no problem, bless. But when there's kids involved, yeah, and years on end, you know, you go pub with their mates and you know, their mum comes round unannounced, and it's just everything's just calm and everything's whatever, and then you go and do that. That's a mental thing, you know.
Mental, nice mental, honestly.
I don't think you might not realize, coach.
No, you make some really brilliant points there. Didn't expect you to be so heartfelt in your response, which I've got time.
Do you know why? Do you know why? Before Curtis gets on, do you know why, James, as well? Because you see, man don't get enough credit for what they do. Everybody's on our we all this feminist stuff and men wear a strut. You're not like us, bro. You're not like us. Regardless of what is genetically known that you're not like us, this don't happen. But that don't mean that we can't feel sorry for the man if the woman cheats. It ain't meant to be, oh, go on, pat on the back, come on, lad, you'll be all right, come down the pub. No, man's hurt, bro.
No, I get that.
Hold on. Listen, see me? I don't know what his financial situation is or whatever at that time, but I'm burning down the whole house.
Allegedly you'd do that.
No, who? Me?
Allegedly you would do that, yeah.
You don't know me. You don't know me. What's the if the switch switches, the whole house is getting burnt. I'm not saying anyone's in it. I'm saying I'm burning down. No one is. That house is getting blown up.
We've seen cases of this in the past where men have been cheated on and they've knocked down their half of the house with a bulldozer.
100%.
I'm picturing 90 in there now.
Cause I'm on that.
James.
You're not getting. Listen to this, yeah.
Go on.
There's a guy that lives. There's 8 houses. There's a guy that lives over there.
Okay.
Him and his wife cheated. He said, yeah. Cool, no problem. She went to court, kids, this, that, and the other. He said, yeah. So you really think that you're going to bring another man into my house that I bought, cuz?
Big points.
Do you really think that's going to happen? And you lot are going to be living all hunky-dory in the house. He's going to have his feet up. The fire's going to be on. You're going to be making coffee. He's going to be drinking tea. He's going to be telling my kids, go to bed, walking them upstairs, all of this. Do you really think that's going to happen? The house is gone. You man are going to have to find a new yard because this is not happening under my watch.
What did he do?
Under no circumstance.
What did he do?
No, it wasn't even, sorry, he didn't cheat. It's not even like he cheated. They just like, you know, when you just separate, you're not getting on.
Yeah.
Nah, she wants to move on with her life, which is fair enough, no problem. But you didn't buy this house.
100%. I can't stress and emphasize, I've got a lot of friends that have been through similar kind of situations. It's sometimes not fair on either party, in particular, those that have put a monetary gain into the home, whether that be male or female. People's different dynamics in their houses are different.
And it's usually the male. Yeah, so let's not try and play this stupidness. It's usually the male.
I agree with what you're saying, Nate. I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, it's usually the male, and then the girls get everything. The man has to go and live in some squalor and rebuild his whole thing. Yeah, 1-bedroom flat with some crackhead flipping underneath him, chatting shit at night time when he fucking smokes his pipe. Yeah, and you're in the yard.
And also another thing that you haven't mentioned there, really, I agree 100% what you said. Another thing, once you've had everything taken off you that you've been working your whole life for, and you have to go and live on your own, you then have to go through court and fight for your kids. So, and you might not be able to see them for 6, 12 months. All of a sudden, it's like, what is going on here? And you're not even at fault for it. That's why, you know, men are killing themselves over things like this. And Knight is right, you know, men don't get no love in this day and age. It's all about the woman and this, that, and the other. But times are changing. People are seeing what people are having to go through. But yeah, it's shocking. When I seen the video, I was like, she's got off lightly. I'm with 90.
Just to point it out.
I wouldn't be able to be held responsible for my actions if
Trust
something like
me,
that.
Curtis. Trust me, Curtis. I'm not responsible. Like I said, the brother, they built back up the house. He burnt the house down to smithereens. He said, this ain't happening. Yeah, it ain't happening. I know the story around the area, so you know the story. He used to get up, go work. He used to be in work for 7:30 or whatever it was. He was a roofer. So he had a little business with his roofing. Like he had people working for him and underneath him and this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. So he had a bit of dough as well. You know, them kind of jobs there, them labouring jobs there, you can earn a bit of dough if you get a little business and you couple of your mates underneath you and you're working and you're putting in the work. You fucking can earn some dough, mate, I'm telling you. Some real dough, yeah? And his house was beautiful. Beautiful, mate. And he said, obviously, I don't know what happened within the house. She weren't cheating or he weren't cheating. They just didn't get on. You know, sometimes that happens. It does happen. Don't get it wrong. Yeah? But they couldn't come to agreement where they sold the house and they both went their separate ways. She wants to be in the yard. Yeah? And she wants to bring this new man into the house. It ain't happening. I already told my missus. Yeah? I already told my missus. We separate on some split up thing and, you know, no cheating or no one's fault and we just ain't getting along in the house. Well, you can't bring another man into the yard.
I just want to point
it's long, bro.
It's long. You've made some brilliant points, lads. I just want to point this out. If there are any men out there that are struggling, there are numbers that you can call to talk things through and get some advice.
Yeah.
Sometimes a problem.
Hit my DM. That's what you need to do. I'll talk you through it.
You can hit up brother 90. As a friend of the show, he will genuinely talk to you and talk you through any problems. Failing that, you can contact the Samaritans. I've also got the number for the Respect Men's Advice Line, which is 0808 801 0327. 0808 801 0327. You're not suffering alone. There's a lot of people that have been in this situation and are going to be in this situation.
They don't care. They don't care. No one cares about the man. Everyone, pat him on the back, he'll be all right. He's a man, he's hard.
I can hear that, mate.
Yeah? Everybody, they don't care about the man. Hear what I'm trying to say. They do not give a shit. They will blood suck the man for his money. The court will blood make him drain himself out to the last end. And like Curtis says, nobody else knows to the point where the man can't even see where else to go. They say fuck it and they're gone. Throw himself in front of a train or whatever and this is what's happening. So when he said, fuck this, I'm throwing the boxes out the window and all that, she got away lightly. Because she can go pick them stuff up and go to go wherever she needs to go, her mum's, store them stuff away. She still got her stuff. She just out the house. Me, I'm the original petty king. I'm mashing up everything. Something's getting burned down. No cars are getting drove. Nothing. And it's not a threatening. It's not on a threat thing. You won't even see me do it. You won't be in the house. No, nothing. It'll just be when you come back. It'll just be gone.
No, he's gone full East London on the yard. Stripped, car stripped.
I hope my missus is listening to this as well. I hope I'm going to play this. I need this in the clip so I can play to her. If you try and leave me on some normal ground thing, yeah, it ain't going to work for you. Your new boyfriend's not putting in the key in the door and opening it, and my kids come running to the door, and he's going, oh, you right? And he don't even really give a shit about them, yeah? And he's just in the yard shitting in my toilet, and all of this bollocks. It fucking ain't happening, guys.
No, I'm with 90 here. I'm with 90 on this one, and I know a lot of us men are on this one. I'm with 90. 90 speaks a lot of sense, and he speaks his own truth. That's why I love him like a stepbrother. Genuinely. Lads, I've got to say, I've thoroughly enjoyed your company today on Not For The News. I know this show, we talk on subjects that other people are frightened to talk about. That's what we do. So I just want to thank Curtis Woodhouse, Leon Knight for their honest and open opinions as always. If you're watching this show on our YouTube channel, may I please ask you a favour? Please download our free football app, Pitch Footy, for fan debates, content, merchandise giveaways, tickets, you name it, we've got it. And also check out the Spotify version for the adult version of the show while you're on the road. Brother Woodshack, brother 90.
Woodshack, what's the cash out?
I'm strong. £98.50.
It was £97.50 after the Arsenal game.
Yeah, I'm worried about Daesh. I'm worried about Daesh.
Too much uncertainty's changed the bid a little bit. You know what I mean?
Anybody other than Daesh, cash out 99.999. anyone but Daesh, Everton are down.
All right, cool. No problem.
On that note, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time, honest opinions, and I will see you next week for the next instalment of Not For The News, exclusive to Pitch Football. Thank you. Goodbye.
Cheers, lads.